Puss in Boots. Let's talk about it. I don't know why I call it Puss in Boots in my mind at times, but hey, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome to today's short and snappy takes by Mary Kenya Reviews. And today we're going to talk about Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. It came out last year. And truthfully speaking, for me, I kind of just shrugged it off because I thought it would be one of those woke movies that are coming out during this time, the kind of movies that are just ruining the old IPs. Until I started hearing the chatter online about it, and I was like, let me look for it. And once I came across it finally, after a long wait for me, I was not disappointed at all. As in, it was worth the hassle, it was worth the looking for and finding. It made it all worth it. I really loved Puss in this movie. We saw a side of him that we never saw because these other films have come out before. I feel like they're films that we've kind of grown up watching. And I feel like if this is the last movie, and I hope it would be, or it is rather the last movie to the Puss in Boots franchise, it's one of the best way you can send off a character that is beloved by a lot of people. I really enjoyed watching it, and I hope that even before I endorse it, this is a movie that I definitely recommend for anyone to watch. Big or small, you need to watch Puss in Boots. So, as usual, I'm going to say some of the things that I liked about it without giving away too many spoilers. And I loved the cast. I think the cast complemented each other so well. I loved Antonio Banderas as Puss, obviously Salma Hayek as Kitty Softpaws. And the great addition that I usually forget is Perito. Perito? He was adorable, and I think he was the one thing that made the movie feel really touchy feeling. And yeah, he was one of those characters as a dog that stood out in a film that is mainly centered around cats. So, yeah, I liked that addition. And the other thing that I loved about this movie is the villains. The villains were chef's kiss. They were the best. Besides Akina Puss, the other addition that I really liked and I feel complemented the other three main cast was the addition of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I feel like it was such a complementary cast to add on to in this movie. And as I said, the villains were amazing. Jack Horner was just a mean ass badass character, and there was no reason. Yeah, there was a reason we were given, but it didn't justify how bad he was. He was just bad, and that's what I like about bad characters. And the other characters, the other bad character, or rather the other villain that caught everyone's eye was Fear, the wolf. That character, once he stepped on screen, you would feel his menacing presence. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. The reason why I really liked the villains on this film, especially considering it was a kids' film, was how characters at times they're allowed to be bad just because they're bad. They don't need a whole backstory as to why I'm bad or I went through this. It's okay. But there are people who are just bad, and because they just want to be, or that's just a role they play in life, and that's okay to be or to have such characters in your film or rather your story. And I feel like Wolf, who plays Fear, who plays Death, complements that aspect of a version of a bad guy that I would want to in my stories. And once you have like a very weird or badass villain, you give your main protagonist, in this case Puss, a bigger victory when he gets to overcome that obstacle, because you've given him a formidable foe to overcome, to a point where when he does so, it becomes such a great reward that even you as an audience, when you watch that play out, you're happy because you feel like I came to watch a story that fulfilled and ticked all the boxes that I wanted. And in this case, for me, I feel like whatever Puss was going through in this movie was something that we can all relate to. Personally, for me, I feel like this movie was speaking to me. That's what I liked about Puss in Boots, because no matter who you are, you could relate to what Puss was going through. Not because Puss looked like me or any other person who was watching the movie, but because the story that was written by actual human beings who have gone through life and have felt how life can be and how life can just be weird at times. So that's the kind of stories that people want to watch, stories that they can relate to, stories that make you feel things, stories that leave you entertained, stories that make you laugh, stories that make you think beyond your kawaida or actual thinking, stories that challenge your way of thinking. And I feel like that's what stories are meant to do. And that's why they've stayed with us since the dawn of time. So I really, really recommend this movie. And it's a movie you can watch with your kids. It's something that you can pass down to whoever. And yeah, this is a film that I feel everyone should watch. And I think some studios should take notes. So yeah, Puss in Boots, this one I definitely recommend 101%. If you haven't watched Puss in Boots, please make a point of watching Puss in Boots and then tell me what you think about it. Bye.